Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Wednesday, June 4th, 2024. So I didn't make any trades today. I was traveling back to New Jersey, so I got here and I really had no feel for what was going on. There was really not a whole lot going on. But here's the tricky part: is what I've been saying is the preferred wave count is one, two, three, four, and then five, and that would be coming up and touching the top of this wedge. But the fact that we actually made a new high, this could be wave five or what can be it's really difficult to say this on how where it is because we could be just making it another a b c and then another wave c down here. It's tough to say, but right now this made things a little bit confusing because you can see here we do have the bearish divergences. This is a 60-minute chart, so here we have sell signals. We never got up here, and then we started pulling back, and the S&P was up to, I think, 20 or something like that, and ended up closing basically even. So if maybe it's a failed fifth, we've just made a barely new wave five, and now we're starting the leg down, or it's kind of hard. So that if it would have been up, that would have made it a lot easier because I think we would have had a much more defined sell signal. But right now it's the closing wasn't good. I know there's some talk about the tariff stuff or whatever with China, so we have to see if that shakes up the markets. But like I said, this makes it a little difficult to figure out because this could be your wave five. As long as we made it above here, that can be considered your wave five, even though it's only an ABC move. I would think we'd come down maybe and then back up. That would make be the easiest trade. But we're going to let Mr. Market tell us what he has in tail. As I've been saying, when we are up here, well, actually on the daily we were up here is when I started getting pretty defensive on this market and just saying, don't roll the dice that much because we're very, very overextended and sentiment is pretty strong on the bullish side, and typically the majority is going to be wrong. So if we're just going to get a deeper pullback off of this here, this is from the 48, this is the lows in April. If we're looking at it, you can see we really didn't get one here because if I'm going to take, I actually have this from up here. So what I want to do is now bring it down and say, okay, so even if we bring it to here, you can see we just barely made the 23% retracement on this particular drop here. We didn't even get there. So if this was the high, what I'd be looking at, and what it could be as well is this is an extension of the wave three. So we have one, two, and these are all your little jiggle things, and then four, five, and then this is the wave three here. And then we're going to turn around and make a wave four here, and then head back up. It, like I said, this made it pretty complicated. If it would have went up, it would have made it a lot easier. But that could be the case too. These squiggles, end up coming into this is just a wave three, four, and then we head up because the top is, I mean, that's why I'm basically saying I'm a little confused on this because the top could come anywhere within this next 3 weeks, and it's going to be an important one. We're probably going to see a decent little pullback off of that. Did it start today? With today's failed, breakout, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see on this, but in any case, it's we want to keep our eyes open on this. I'm not saying that to go get short on this market, but I'm going to continue to say, you want to be cautious up here. So if we take a look at the 15-minute chart, there's, not really a whole lot that's, let me just move this to here, 15-minute. Okay. So there's really not a whole lot to go over. We're just kind of stuck. You can see it's just an ABC move, and it's actually almost a perfect ABC move if I take it and just do our extensions here and say, here's our A, here's our B, and here's our C. Almost made it there, almost a perfect one. But in any case, we have, we had some sell signals on the 15-minute charts, and that's been around for a while. This has been since this high here, and then we started coming down. So we're, again, I'm just going to say you want to be definitely err on the side of caution here because this could be, the top that I've been talking about. But I'm also leaving the door open that we're just going to pull back and then come back up again. I'm going to let the market tell us what's going to happen. All I know is if we take out these lows, then I believe that we are starting the larger drop. And really, the first target is going to be down at this 56.72 level. And then what we'd be looking at is down at the 55.50. So that's that on the 5 minute chart. Not really that much to go over on this either. We're really just, let me clear this off because that's not even part of it. Let's just do this. Let's figure out if we get a bounce where the top would be on that, or where say the mercy line would be on that, because if we bounce up here and we see hang on one second. Okay. So it basically, the line in the sand for the Bulls is going to be the 59.85 for the Bears. If they don't hold that down, then we're coming back up and we're going to test this 59.90 level again. And but you can see we're really right now, if we just kind of stretch out and look at this, it really looks like we're just more in a range right here, where here's the top of the range and here's the bottom of the range. So that's, this is really it. If we break down, if we get below this range here, if we get below this, then it's going to say, okay, there's a good chance that we're now going to be breaking down. And we probably see some buyers down at at the 59.61. But really, the more important one is going to be getting it through to 59.50. If they do that, that's when I believe that we'll start seeing, some sellers stepping in, because this is your support right here, your 59.26, 59.40. If that gets lost, then with the next support, like I said, we're looking at is the 58.50, and then we're coming down to this to the 57.65, and we still have this open gap right here. And if we don't want to forget this, but we still have this wick that's coming all the way down here. So this is at 3:40 in the afternoon on the 23rd. So let's just go and see where that matches up with the S&P here. And if we do that, it's going to be right in this area here. Hang on one second. I'm going to do this. 15 minutes is going to be easier. Yeah, so it's going to be right over in this area here. That's all the way down at the 57.80. So, like I said, it's this, you could see where one, two, three, four, five. It could be there, or it could be just some kind of here's one and then two, and now we're made to this. We just completed a wave three of five, and then we come down and then head back up. So, like I said, I'm going to let Mr. Market let us know what we're doing. I'm just going to stick with just air and the side of caution, because we could turn anytime here. And again, I'm not saying to short this market because it's pretty strong right now, but I don't know what would be the catalyst to the downside, but there's something that's going to kick it, and we're going to see a big retracement from there. And we want to keep our powder dry to buy the dips on it. So, with that, have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.